Good morning, friends. Spring has officially sprung in our little corner of the world, and it feels so good. Spring is always so hopeful for me. I mean, I think for most people. There's just something about the first bits of sunshine after a long, cold winter that just makes me feel so very alive and hopeful. And it's just so beautiful outside. The flowers are blooming, the birds are singing, the sun is shining. I feel like a new person. And it's usually around this time of year where I start to crave Anne of Green Gables. If you have read this book, you will know that it is such a delight. Anne is an incredible character, and I just love the way she sees the world. She's made up her mind to see beauty in everything. She is the queen of romanticizing life. And any time that I read this story or watch the Netflix series, I feel inspired to romanticize my own life and seek joy in simple things like treasures from outside, or time spent with kindred spirits, and losing myself in books. The list goes on. But seeing as spring has sprung, I thought that it would be really fun to have an Anne of Green Gables reading day. I would love to read this book start to finish today and do some fun and inspired life enjoying activities, if you will. So while I was outside this morning, I read up to page 52, chapter 5. We've just gotten to Anne's history, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I thought that it would be fun to try and make blueberry muffins, as well as some fresh squeezed orange juice, because I have some clementines that have just gone bad for the most part, but they're plenty juicy still. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some fresh squeezed orange juice and try and bake some blueberry muffins. I think I side with Anne as far as my baking skills go. They're very hit or miss, and I'm gonna make these muffins from scratch. We'll see how it goes. So friends, or should I say kindred spirits, go ahead and make yourselves a heartwarming mug of tea or coffee. Grab your coziest of comfy blankets. Let's have an Anne of Green Gables day. how good does this look? All right, first try, moment of truth. Let's start with the juice. It tastes like liquid sunshine. I feel like this is so good for me. I mean, I know that it has a lot of sugar, and sugar is a bad guy these days. However, I believe that naturally occurring sugar, as from fruit, isn't bad. I think that this has far more health benefits than negatives. Cheers! Big success. Okay, now moment of truth. The blueberry muffins. Okay, that was so good actually. That blueberry was really tart and sour. Wow. Oh, I love it. Hello friends, it is just after 1:30 p.m. and I am already halfway through this book. I'm flying through, just devouring it because it feels so good. I love this book so much. Not only is Anne's positive, good spirit so contagious, but also the writing is so beautiful. It's really struck me this time reading it through how beautiful the descriptions of nature are. I have so many pages dog-eared with beautiful quotes. There are so many. And I want to read them to you. I think I'll just include a segment that shows favorite quotes that I've underlined. However, I do want to read a very famous quote to you. Or a whole entire page, if you will. I hope it's not too boring, but it has inspired me and I just want to share it with you guys. So, without further ado, Chapter 16, Diana is invited to tea with tragic results. October was a beautiful month at Green Gables, when the birches in the hollow turned as golden as sunshine, and the maples behind the orchard were royal crimson, and the wild cherry trees along the lane put on the loveliest shades of dark red and bronzy green, while the fields sunned themselves in aftermaths. Anne reveled in the world of color about her. "Oh, Marilla," she exclaimed one Saturday morning, coming dancing in with her arms full of gorgeous boughs. "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. It would be terrible if we just skipped from September to November, wouldn't it? Look at these maple branches. Don't they just give you a thrill? Several thrills? I'm going to decorate my room with them." "Messy things," said Marilla, whose aesthetic sense was not noticeably developed. "You clutter up your room entirely too much with out-of-doors stuff, Anne. Bedrooms were made to sleep in." "Oh, and dream in too, Marilla. And you know one can dream so much better in a room where there are pretty things. I'm going to put these boughs in the old blue jug and set them on my table." Isn't that writing so beautiful? I know this particular section is focused on fall, but seriously, every season, all throughout this novel, it just makes you love the natural world. And as such, I would like to take a reading break and go outside and collect some flowers and specimens and other natural things to decorate our home with. I could not agree more, Anne Shirley-Cuthbert. Out-of-doors stuff is the loveliest kind of thing to decorate your space with. Perfect for dreaming and just bringing new life to a space that's grown familiar. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get to it. Per usual, I'm yawning during a reading vlog. Sitting and reading for hours is quite draining, but I have just finished reading Anne of Green Gables. The whole experience has been medicine for my soul. It is so good. I just love Anne. As I said before, she gets in so much trouble but has the best intentions, and she's 100% herself no matter what, no matter who she's around. She does not hold back. She feels her emotions to the extreme, which in some cases isn't necessarily a good thing, but also is really, really wonderful. I think that's childhood innocence and a bit of childhood magic. It's a sad day when we're grown up enough to realize that our emotions fully felt in public are an inconvenience to other people. I most definitely wish that wasn't the case. I love how excited Anne gets about things. Like, there was a line where she said that looking forward to a thing is perhaps the best part of a thing, even if the thing never happens. Just getting excited about it is so enjoyable, and I love that. I personally try not to have high hopes for things because I can't stand the feeling of being let down. However, I think I might try to adopt Anne's perspective on that one. And there came a part where I was reading this book and I came across one of the many lines about kindred spirits. I'm gonna try and find it. Anne's talking about Diana's grandmother, and she says, "Miss Barry was a kindred spirit after all. You wouldn't think so to look at her, but she is." And after a few more words, she says, "Kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world." And I read this line and started tearing up because I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to have kindred spirits all over the world. It's you guys. It's absolutely you guys. So many of us in this community are indeed kindred spirits. And it really truly is lovely to realize that there are so many all over the world. We are not alone, friends. I feel so happy and ready to romanticize life after reading this. If you have not already, I so highly recommend reading Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, especially at the beginning of spring. Anne will most definitely inspire you to fall in love with the awakening of nature that is spring. And autumn as well, if you don't live in this hemisphere. So good. It's lovely. The relationships in the novel are so cute. The character development is incredible. And as I showed you earlier, the writing, the descriptions, so delicious. Delicious is not the right word, but ooh, so satisfying to read. Just completely transports you to the outdoors and makes you, I don't know, I just feel like I'm wearing these rosy tinted glasses now and I'm looking out the window at the world and seeing so many beautiful things. I do aspire to be like Anne in my day-to-day life, mainly in the way that she sees magic in the world. I would love to see my world always through these rosy tinted glasses, or at least continue to decide to enjoy my life. Because as Anne says, in her experience, if you make your mind up firmly, you can always enjoy things, or something of that sort. Are you with me? I bet you are. Regardless, thank you so very much for being here. Cheers, friends!